Am I the asshole for going no contact with my family and my husband's family because they had my baby shower without me? This situation happened right after the height of COVID in August of 2020. 1, my husband worked in a hospital with active COVID patients. 2, all of my in-laws were high risk for contracting COVID. 3, at the time, pregnancy didn't make you high risk. We were still learning about the disease. Now I believe it does, not sure. 4, if I were to have a baby shower, it would be towards the end of my pregnancy because that's when I would feel comfortable that the likelihood of a miscarriage is lower. COVID was pretty rough on all of us. At that time, I had a 3-year-old and I was pregnant with really, really bad nausea, as well as aches and pains that seemed never ending. The nausea didn't even go away with medication. I did my best to stop it and just continued life as normal as possible, even though we were stuck inside and all of our activities were no longer happening. My husband, as I mentioned, worked in a hospital. He dealt with COVID patients. Because of this, we were extremely careful. When he came home, he would remove his clothes and shoes in the garage. He would immediately put them in the washing machine. He would bathe in our downstairs bathroom and then would come up to see us. We would sanitize and wear masks when necessary. Basically, we followed protocols that were told to us at the time. My in-laws, however, had different plans, which they are entitled to. They didn't quarantine, they didn't socially distance, they shared masks and had large gatherings at their houses, one of which was a wedding in their backyard. I didn't want to go, but my husband convinced me. We wore masks, social distance, and didn't go inside the house. I will admit I was angry because I was told everyone would be wearing masks except the bride and groom, but no one did. I maintained my distance and I told myself I'm not doing that again. It was obvious that I was trying to stay safe, my husband included. It's very hard to keep a 3-year-old away from the people he loved, and I sincerely was doing it for their benefit, knowing that we were the ones who could contract it, since my husband worked in healthcare, and could give it to his family. One of my sister-in-laws kept telling me that she would see us in a few weeks, and I was confused at that at first, but didn't think much of it because I was too nauseous and tired and dealing with my toddler to try and decipher what that meant. When it came closer to the date, I had a feeling that she was throwing me a baby shower. However, I'm not a baby shower person. I don't mind if other people have them, I just don't like them for myself. I had one for my first kid, and I told my mom and sister-in-law explicitly that I am only doing this for you and because this is the first grandchild on both sides. They knew this before my first baby shower, and they definitely knew this while planning this one. My husband has since told me that he told them I wouldn't like it. Because of this feeling, I texted my sister-in-law a few days before the date. She told me, I asked if she was having a baby shower for me, and she said yes. I told her that I'm not going to be able to attend. I have very bad nausea, as I had been having, especially lately, and I'm tired. And most importantly, it would be irresponsible of me or her to have something like this, given the current circumstances. We were literally a town that had just become red, which meant that numbers were going up pretty severely, and they were warning us to maintain 6 feet and whatever else advisory. I also told her that it was really nice and a thoughtful gesture, but I wouldn't be able to morally live with myself if we convened and someone got severely sick just because I wanted to party, which again, I didn't and would never, as I am extremely introverted. She said okay, and I thought it was done. I got a call the next day from my friend saying that my sister-in-law called her to say I'm not coming to the baby shower and that I, my friend, probably don't want to go since I wouldn't be there. My friend was super cautious, still is, and was only going to my baby shower to make me happy. She literally felt like she was risking her life. My sister-in-law told her safety precautions were going to be in place and that it would be outside. So she agreed. She called me surprised because she thought it was a surprise for me, but then my sister-in-law called and told her that I knew and that I wasn't coming. So I told my friend, yeah, I would never do this, and especially during a time like this, especially knowing who my family is. Unfortunately, literally no one in my family is healthy, high blood pressure, cancer, high cholesterol, heart issues, asthma, severe allergies, fragile bones, arthritis, just to name a few.
A few?
And this is just off the top of my head with the in-laws and my mom's side of the family. My friend and I hung up and I thought nothing of it. It's done. No harm, no foul, right? I literally thought she was making her calls to whoever she invited. Till this day, I don't know who, and it was over. Wrong. The next day, my older cousin texts me and tells me that since I didn't show up to the baby shower and I didn't want the homemade cupcakes, she would take them back home with her. And I said, what? You were invited? It's happening? How? I was shocked. I couldn't believe they had my baby shower without me. I felt terrible because she is another one who literally had not left her home since March. She worked from home. Her kids were home from school. Her wife also worked from home. She had groceries delivered. The works. Again, another person risking their life to please me, but it wasn't for me, especially knowing that they had the whole event without me. Didn't cancel anything, didn't follow any supposed protocols. I was immediately angry, immediately hurt, shocked, whatever feeling I likely had it, other than happiness. Till this day, I'm still confused as to how anyone would think it's okay to have a baby shower when the mother isn't present. Thankfully, I'm not angry, sad, or hurt anymore, but it's definitely still insane to me. My husband immediately went into defending his family. My cousin told my mom and aunt that I wasn't happy and what was going on, and they both called and tried to defend themselves. My mom particularly said, I wanted to celebrate my grandchild. You can't stop me from doing that.
Oh my God. What?
And she's right. I can't stop her from doing that, even though I think it's crazy. But do it at your own party with your own friends. Why make me aware of it at all, as though it was for me? I see this as a major betrayal. My mom and I have had a very tumultuous relationship. She has been physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually abusive. My aunt has defended her. My other aunt and grandmother think she can do no wrong. She's the one who told my sister-in-law to still have the party because according to my mom, I would show up. But my sister-in-law knew I wouldn't because 1, I told her, and 2, she told my friend I wasn't going to go, meaning my sister-in-law also knew I wasn't going to be there. 3, I gave my reasoning about COVID being bad at the moment, plus my other ailments. None of those stipulations had changed from one day to the other. My in-laws were confused as to why I was angry. Like it was no big deal that the person who you are literally having the baby shower for isn't there. As though they didn't treat me like a surrogate before. Here is more evidence. I blocked all of my in-laws. I also blocked my mom and my aunt, and I haven't spoken to them since. I wrote an email to my sister-in-law explaining why, with a long laundry list of things that were pretty similar to this, in the sense that they don't respect me, my boundaries, my generosity, and my willingness to always go above and beyond, and basically this is the respect I get. I don't need thank yous, I don't need you to respect me and consider my feelings, but nope, it's just about what they want. And they wanted to party, so party without me. My brother, who I still speak to, called me a week after the event to update me on his life. He went to the party, but he didn't know where he was going. My mom told him to jump in the car and told him she was going to a party. My brother didn't ask any questions, which is very typical of him. As they were driving, she told him that it was my baby shower, and he was immediately surprised. He said that this wasn't for my sister because if you knew her, you know that she wouldn't want this. My mom told him that I knew about it and nothing else. He decided to stay because he was moving out of the country and this was his last time seeing all of these people, at least for a long while. I still haven't seen him, so yeah, a long while. He said that they wanted to take a video to send to me, and every time they would pivot to him, he would ruin it, according to them, by saying, "This isn't for insert OP's name." Again, this fact only further proves that they were aware and they saw nothing wrong with what they were doing. After I blocked them, I have gotten many passive-aggressive things done to me. For example, when my son was born, my husband and kid and new baby all got gifts from one sister-in-law congratulating them, not me.
Okay.
Just them.
Okay. Calm down.
Another sister-in-law delivered donuts and coffee for my husband and toddler with a card saying, "For all of your hard work." As though they did anything. During the delivery, they constantly called to see if the baby was born, not to see how I was, so much so that my husband wasn't present with me, and I can't help but think it was on purpose. After the baby was born, our doctor advised that no one see our baby for at least 3 months, so we complied. My husband would often FaceTime, and I would constantly hear, "Oh, he has dimples like me," meaning my sister-in-law, when I literally have 2. Any feature of mine that was clearly mine, they would try and attribute to themselves or some long-lost relative of theirs. Very weird. When both my kids look exactly like me. Literally hair, color, texture, dimples, face, smile. I've been told that we look like twins by others. But of course, it's your uncle's kid. Sure. Now, anytime anyone asks why I'm not around, I get the dirty looks and comments, the really infuriating comments of, but they're your family, are the worst. But I just grin and bear it. Anyway, that's my story. Am I the asshole? I don't think I am, especially given context and questions before I am asked. The baby shower wasn't a home, no venue to cancel or deposit they lost out on. Everything to my knowledge was refundable or theirs already. 2, my in-laws knew the rules as they were very on top of watching the news 24/7. 3, my mom and aunt work in another hospital, and although it's not patient care, they had to be constantly tested and follow the same procedures as the doctors, nurses, and medical staff. 4, I did not block anyone or go no contact solely because of this issue. It was merely the straw that broke the camel's back. It is like a light switch went off and I just realized the relationships no longer serve me, if they ever did. And 5, I've been in therapy for about 5 years, twice a week, to get over my crappy childhood.